we're going to have a look at the paging file today, and paging file is where your system uses your hard disk space as temporary RAM. What happens is RAM may become full. If it does, then you may need to increase your paging file as a temporary measure to allow programs to run effectively. Look, long term it's always best to increase RAM, but you may get to a situation where your board will no longer take any further RAM and you're still having memory problems. So increasing your paging file or hard disk space to allow for the paging file is a very good way or temporary measure to allow programs to run more smoothly. To access it, fairly straightforward. Let's go down to Start. We'll go to Control Panel. Under Control Panel, let's find our System icon. Once that appears, you've got all these different settings over here, and we're going to go to the Advanced System Settings. Now, here's your system properties here, under the Advanced tabs, and you have a number of choices here. We're going to have a look at our Performance area. And in our Performance area, Visual Effects, and as you can see, we'll leave those as they are. You've then got your Advanced, and this is your virtual memory area. So a paging file is an area hard disk Windows uses as if it were RAM, and you can change or allocate it here. Now, the most common option is to leave the automatically manage. Okay, if you take that tick off, you can then set a custom size for any of these. Now, I tend not to have a paging file on my most common drive if possible. If I'm going to play around with it, I'll actually place it on a non-important drive. The reason being, I want to leave that drive free. It's actually going to be hit a lot of time for use by the actual system itself. So you actually don't want to create a conflict between data and paging file. Look, in this instance, I'm just going to leave it. If you do wish to change it for various purposes, it will actually tell you the minimum, the recommended, and how much is currently allocated. As you can see, at this point in time, I've actually got a lot less currently allocated than is recommended. What this is telling me is that I have more than sufficient RAM, onboard RAM, actual RAM, than is needed. If ever that were a huge discrepancy between the two, okay, say for example the currently allocated was a much higher figure than the recommended, I would probably come in here. That would also be an indication that I'm needing more. So that is how you change your virtual memory. And as says, change you may require to start your computer. Okay, so you're going to do a shutdown and restart in most instances. Okay, so we're going to click on cancel, and that's how you change under Control Panel System, Advanced System Settings, your virtual memory.